form, when he calls it, it will not absolutely unequivocally return to him void. It's going to do what I tell it to do, right? So the if is not with him. The if is, hey, he said, Jesus, if you can do anything, right? And Jesus said, not anything. All things are possible to do. Listen, the if is not with me. It's always all with me. All power. Now, when you start telling me you've been believing God for something for 25 years and it's not happening, it's not God. Go check you. Lord Jesus. Listen, when we talk about remove the reward, behavior that is rewarded is often repeated. Now, listen, we talk about other people. We talk about even rewarding ourselves. You know, somebody, we will practice discipline with a diet, right? It's like, ooh, this a cheat day. I got a cheat meal, right? I'm gonna eat me a cookie, right? Did you earn the right to have that? Did you earn the right to have some reward? Or you just rewarding yourself just because? That's why I'm against the participation ribbon. You know, everybody get a trophy. You lost. You did not win the game. Go home and think about it. So the next time you come back, you adjust how you play, right? But we want to take pain totally out of the equation. We want to take discomfort totally out of the equation. And guess what happens when you don't have pain? You run into stuff and hurt yourself because you don't feel the consequences. I'm going to just be 100. I look at some people I know who have children out of wedlock. The mom or the grandma are going to come take the baby. You know what happens? They do the same thing all over again. And I know everybody's like, oh, that's difficult because, you know, what happened to the baby? You know, what's going to happen to them when they get older and the parent not there? Yeah, you got to hold the parent responsible. As opposed to saying, oh, I'm just going to take the baby away. Oh, but I can't control him, man. Look, tell him this your baby, and I'm going to watch. If you're willing to take the time to invest in taking care of a child for the next 18 to 25 years, then why not just hold that parent accountable? Hey, you're going to do it if you're willing to go that far. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go a little further. So, I don't have this, but I'm going to read it to you. It's a good story about remove the rewards until the job is done. And if you want it, let me know. I'll give it to you. It's a story to illustrate the power of withholding rewards. An older couple had been at a campground for a couple of days when a family arrived at the site next to them. As soon as the SUV came to a stop, the couple and their 3 kids piled out. One child hurriedly unloaded ice chests, backpacks, and the other items, while the other 2 quickly put up the tent. The site was ready in 15 minutes. The older couple was amazed. You folks sure do work great together, the elderly man told the dad admiringly. And the dad says, you just need a system. Nobody goes to the bathroom until camp is set up. So the reason they did it so fast, because his method was, y'all want to go to the bathroom? Put the camp up. Then you can go do what you need to do. And it's the motivation behind it. But a lot of us give ourselves rewards prematurely. Stay focused on results. Anytime you concentrate on the difficulty of the work instead of its results or rewards, you're likely to become discouraged. Anytime you concentrate on the difficulty of the work instead of the results, you are likely to become discouraged. Hebrews 12 and 2. It says, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him, what he did because he saw the joy, endured the cross and despising the shame. I can endure. The cross, as we know, was the most horrific form of execution. But he was able to look beyond the cross because of the joy. He was focused on the results. Yes? Let's do this. Look at your last week's schedule. How much of your time did you devote to regular, disciplined activities? If you've been putting off those things, telling yourself you'll do them later, you may need to work on your self-discipline. I'm going to read it one more time so some people can get it the same. Look at your last week's schedule. How much of your time did you devote to regular disciplined activities? Regular disciplined activities. If you've been putting off those things, telling yourself you'll do them later, you may need to work on your self-discipline. Yeah? All right, let's go a little bit. I think the TV cut off on because it was just timed out. Oops. Wrong thing. Am I boring you? No?
Not me.
No? Good. Y'all in? We still engaged?
Yes.
Let's do it. Here we go. Prioritizing your life. Setting the course for completion. Now, you might be able to flip this over and take notes or whatever. If you want a copy or something, let me know. Setting the course for completion. Self-discipline is a must. If you know you have talent and you've seen a lot of motion but little concrete results, you may lack self-discipline. I'm going to read that again. If you know you have talent, some people think they have talent. But if you know you have talent and you've seen a lot of motion but little concrete results, you may lack self-discipline. Oh, yes, absolutely. What about a pencil? 2? 3? Y'all got seasoned food in. I know. 8 people come to class with stuff ready. But that's all right, though. A students become teachers. C students own business. Come on. If you know, that's what I tell myself to make myself do. If you know you have talent and you've seen a lot of motion but little concrete results, you may lack self-discipline. Think about it. If you have the self-discipline to continue to work on your talent and you are talented, you're going to see results. It was something I was going to say to y'all right there. It'll come back to me. How to prioritize. Now listen, these are actual steps that you can take. I'm giving you tools right there that you can use. If you need it, let me know. I'll send it to you. The discipline to prioritizing the ability to work towards a stated goal are essential to successfully reaching your goal. The discipline to prioritize and the ability to work towards it. So it's not just making a goal or becoming disciplined, but saying, this is what I need to do first, this is what I need to do next, this is the most important, this is not important. It is essential to successfully reaching your goal. How many people want to reach their goal? Good. I heard a man say, I think his name is Eric Thomas, you're going to have to want air. You're going to have to want success like you need air. That's how bad you want it. Because the enemy's going to fight you. Because he knows that once you get into the place where you're supposed to be, you function in the Eden, in dominion. I heard Miles Monroe say, anybody who finds out what their gift is and function in their gift, they dominate. Yes. Kobe Bryant, yes. Michael Jordan. What's the girl who plays tennis? Serena, Venus. When they find out what their gift is, they dominate. They walk in dominion. And here's the key about dominion. It's not meant that you rule over people. Your circumstances don't dictate to you. You understand? So, commitment and consistency. Oh, yeah, let's watch this. Some of the people who were here last week saw this. Lord, let the sound work. This is, yes. Oh, hold on. Ah. I apologize. Projector. Project. Duplicate. There we go. Boy, I'm learning how to work this.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, Eugene O'Neill, Edward Albee, August Wilson. August Wilson is one of the greatest playwrights
in the history of American or world theater. It is a privilege, an honor, a responsibility, a duty, and a joy to bring his brilliance to the screen. I'm particularly proud and happy about the young filmmakers, actors, singers, writers, producers that are coming up behind my generation. In particular, Barry Jenkins. Young people understand this young man made 10, 15, 20 short films before he got the opportunity to make Moonlight. So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, Pete Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So, keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So, keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
Now, I'm going to tell you, whether you are a fan of Denzel Washington or not, he said a couple of things that stood out. And let me say this. It has motivated me to push myself beyond what I have been doing. When he said, without commitment, you'll never start, and without consistency, you'll never finish, I was like, okay, I'm committed. This is what I'm going to do. So I started heading in a direction, but what I realized, I will never get to where I'm going if I'm not consistent. I have to continue to make progress. I heard a lady, I think she was 70 some odd years old, and she was running marathons, and they asked her, how does she do it? And she said, all I do when I get tired is tell myself, keep putting one foot in front of the other. And then he said, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. I heard, let me make it simple. I heard one preacher say, without friction, there is no movement. You're just spinning your wheels. That's what I meant earlier when he said, when I quoted the scripture, he says, take joy in your infirmities. This is when the strength is made perfect. I get excited when I see opposition. Opposition, problems are a pathway to your promotion. We should not see, when we go and run into some hurdle, it shouldn't be an obligation. It's an opportunity. The atmosphere is conducive. It's made just right. If he brought it to me, then I am equipped with everything I need. Let me just make it simple. Everything, he's given me everything pertaining to life. I'm equipped. If any of y'all play video games, and Cheryl, Steve, all of y'all I know play Call of Duty. Depending upon which map that you play, you equip yourself with certain gear, right? You have certain camo because you're going in the woods. If I'm going in the snow, I have certain camo, right? If I'm going to be playing on a map that has a lot of long distance, I get me a sniper rifle, right? If everything close proximity, I got me some short range guns and some hand-to-hand combat stuff, right? Because I'm equipped, because I know what. Now think about this. You were built, constructed with the opposition, one preacher says, with the storm in mind. So if I built you knowing what you were going to encounter, then I'm going to give you everything you need. So when the storm and opposition shows up, all you have to do is believe in the power that you've been equipped with. The only way we shy away from a challenge is if we think we don't have what it takes to overcome that challenge. Yeah.
Amen.
Lord, I got excited again. So here is the Pareto principle. Oh, take one of these and pass it around. Let me make an adjustment right here. And see if it does what I want it to do. All right, so this is, and I've introduced this to some people already. So with the Pareto principle, it is, some people call it the 80-20 rule, right? If you invest, so this is what they say, 80% of your top 20% gives you 80% of your production. So if I had a business, normally my top 2 employees give me 80% of my results. The bottom 80% give me 20% of my results. So if that was the case, I want to focus my attention and efforts and resources on the top 20 so that I can get 80, as opposed to evenly distributing it. I'm going to get more bang for my buck this way. So if we're talking about prioritizing your life and becoming effective, what you want to do is find out what are those things what are the goals that you have, and then what are the 2 that are most important and that will give you the most bang for your buck, and then devote the majority, not all, but the majority of your time to those top 2 things. All right, and we talked about goals before, and for anybody who wants help, because, and I'm not talking about those people who've been around us talking about goals, I'm not talking about something broad, I'm talking about being specific and targeted with, this is what I want to do and this is what I want to happen. So that handout that I gave you is at the end of this, after we talk about life and prioritizing, I want it to be a visual. Now, what your priorities are, you can write them down, scribble them on some paper somewhere, and then once you know what the top 2 are, put the rest down. And we're going to start to focus on it. Here's another tip that you can do with this, and we've used this with a couple of people we've met with individually. Your time, you can divide it the exact same way. If you can calculate what hours you are free in a day, right? You can say, so if I have 10 hours in a day that I have free time, right? Then I'm going to devote 8 of those 10 hours to my top 2 priorities, whatever those things are. The other 2 hours I'm going to devote to the rest of it, right? But we're gonna learn how to figure out what's important and what those things are. But I wanted to give you that. Cool? Organize or agonize. A life in which anything goes will ultimately be a life in which nothing goes. I'll say it one more time. A life in which anything goes will ultimately be a life in which nothing goes. And they got some people who desperately need this. And there are some people who, as a result of not having the organization, agonize, and we find ourselves spinning around, trying to figure it out, trying to get a direction, and then really in agony because we don't know which way to go or what to do first. I'll be honest with you. I like to have a structure. And that's not something that comes easily to me, but so I put myself around people who are structured thinkers. So that I can say, hey, I want to run something by you. Why would, which one of these would you do first? And then why? And once they can help me put it together, I have a plan of attack. But I feel like I'm smart enough to know that I'm ignorant enough to get some help. If I thought that I knew everything, I'd be trying to attack this all on my own. But I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I need some help with organizing this. And once I get the structure, I can take off. I just need somebody to help me put things in place. So hopefully you'll have some of that today. Organize or agonize. Check this out. Real quick. This is how you can organize it. You have things that are high importance, high urgency. Tackle these projects first. High importance, low urgency. Set deadlines for completion and get those projects worked into your daily routine. So these low urgency, meaning they're not as time sensitive, so you can get them done, but you set a date. I was watching or listening to something I was talking to you yesterday, last night, and it was something that came out of that conversation, and it was have fun or relax, but do it with an expiration date. And once we say, you know what, I'm going to chill, or I'm going to relax, or I'm going to have fun, or I'm going to cheat day, cheat meal, but not just have this open-ended, I'm just cheating. You know, they got the joke like, man, you know, when we break, we break. You know, we maximize the lunchtime, use all the grace period and everything that the people give us. I always do, right? But we want to have some deadline, because if not, we'll get stuck there. We'll get complacent and comfortable and say, I don't feel like moving because this really feels good. But ultimately, you start to agonize, you start to die slowly. And you settle for something short and shy of what God intended for you, right? So, set an expiration date on those things. Low importance but high urgency. So it's not that important, but there's a deadline that has to be there. So it's like, you know, I need to file this paperwork like with the state, right? It's something important to do, but the deadline is coming up. So it says, find quick, efficient ways to get this work done without personal involvement. If possible, delegate it to a can-do assistant. You know, I'm telling you now, I'm learning. Me and my wife as a team, like, babe, you good? I'm not a social media person. You know, posting all of the things and stuff, it's important to do, right? And it's good to do, but I just don't do it. So now I've learned, if you're good at it, let's work together. My sister was just joking with me the other day. She was like, you know, Ronnie, he gonna always delegate. If she listens to me, hey, she knows she gonna, I can hear her right now. That's
she got
right.
Her hand up.
You know, Ronnie, he gonna always delegate. And that's just my thing. Why many hands make light work? Yeah? Y'all see Planet of the Apes? I'm a movie person, so I learn a lot from visual stuff. Planet of the Apes, when was it the baboon? Not the baboon, what is the orangutan?
Orangutan.
Oh, it's an O, right? Not an A.
She said, yep.
Oh. So, what's his name? Maurice. That's a good name for a orangutan. But anyway, he was trying to show Caesar. Caesar was trying to get them all together, and he took the one stick and he broke it, or two, and he broke it, right? And Caesar put them sticks together, and he said, try to break those. We gotta. So listen, I don't mind doing my share. I'm just saying, let's do all of it together. If you're good at it, I don't have to do it. Right. You know, but when it's my turn to do what I have to do, I need to pull my weight too, right? So, low importance, low urgency. This is busy or repetitious work such as filing. Stack it up, he says, and do it in 1/2 hour segments every week. Get someone else to do it, or don't do it at all. Some things, to be honest with you, you just don't have to do. You know, and we like, oh man, I'm gonna tell you, this is what has helped me. I was infamous, and I'm getting better, I'm not perfect yet, for the moment I get ready to walk out the door, I see something that's out of place, and I'm going to go turn around, pick it up, I'm like, oh, the trash, I need to put this trash out. But the trash don't pass till tomorrow. But it's going to make me late to my next thing, right? So there's some things you don't have to do. You know, like, oh God, I need to file all of these papers. But there's no sense, there's no timeline or date to it, so you end up filing papers, and great. But the other stuff has fell behind, right?
That's good.
So, before putting off something you can do today, study it clearly. Maybe you can postpone it indefinitely.
And your sister said, yes, you are.
Yes, I am a delegator.
Yes.
That's all right, man. They have people who get paid just to delegate. That's my role. I'm happy in that my role. But I don't mind getting my hands dirty, rolling my sleeves up. Choose or lose. Every person is an initiator or a reactor when it comes to planning. Every person is an initiator or a reactor when it comes to planning. We had this conversation a couple of classes back. Some people are thermostats, some people are thermometers. Thermometers measure the temperature in the room. Thermostats determine the temperature in the room. Which one will you be? Let's go through some scenarios. Leaders initiate. Followers react. Tell me if you need me to slow down. This is good right here. Because guess what? Some of y'all going to start looking at yourself saying, God, dog, that's me. Right? Leaders initiate, followers react. So, leaders, lead, pick up the phone and make contact. Followers, listen, wait for the phone to ring. How many of us have ideas and like, man, you need to talk to such and such, right? And this, look, in particular in the church, I'm just waiting on my blessing. I'm waiting on the Lord to move, right? But leaders, all right, Lord, what you said do? I'm initiating. As soon as you tell me what to do, I go do, right? My wife is definitely a leader. Thank the Lord. Leaders spend time planning, anticipate problems.
Felt like something was behind that.
I'm saying my wife is a leader. Praise the Lord. And we side by side, leading as a team. Followers spend time living day to day, reacting to problems. Now let's be transparent and honest. This is what we do. You don't have to raise your hand. Like the preacher say, I'm going to stay at the wall. How many people spend the majority of your day reacting to problems as opposed to going do something that you had planned to do? We talked about this a while back. Waking up on purpose. Literally, waking up on purpose. When you wake up on purpose, you have an agenda, a set of tasks that you need to get done. Some people wake up and be like, I don't know what we're doing today. So leaders invest time with people. I don't like this. Leaders invest time with people. Followers spend time with people.
Oh, wow.
Leaders invest time. Followers spend time. I'm gonna go a little further. That's not on the board. Oh. Okay. So, not just time. Most leaders invest money. Most followers spend money. Most of us are consumers as opposed to producers. Listen to this. There is something that God has put in you that you can produce that others are willing to consume. But you got to find out what you can produce. All of us have that ability. He made us in his image and likeness to be creators of something. Find out what he's called you to be, to create. And this is the God honest truth. When I'm around people, I'm looking to get something from them. I'm looking for both of us to walk away with having courage and learn from each other. I joke, but I say this, I was like, if I can't get anything from you, what good are we friends? Why are we friends? If I can't use you. You know? Like, I need you. The Bible says a brother is born for adversity. Man, I need to be able to get something from you. You have to. If you're not a benefit to me, then there's no need for us to be in each other's company. And I feel the same way. So at the same time, I have to make sure that I have something to give when I run into them, something worth impacting their lives with. So that if that's the case, you're always refining your gift, stirring it up so that you have something to give.
Well, I'm glad we're in each other company.
Praise the Lord. Hey, there's so much you give to me. I was about to say something, but we on TV. Fill the calendar by priorities. Leaders fill their calendars by priorities. Followers fill the calendar by request. Check me out. That's real good to me. Leaders fill their calendar by priorities. See, because you are forward thinking, you have an agenda. Followers responding, oh, I need you to do this. Can't you do this? We got this problem. And you start filling your calendar up. No. Guess what? People have to, listen, I have to check my calendar to see if I'm available. Because I am in control. Can I just share a little bit of something with you that I've been studying? Wow. God gave us dominion over everything he created.
Said shut up.
God gave us dominion over everything he created. Hear me. He gave us dominion over what? Everything he created. Everything. Did God create time? Yes, he did. So I have dominion over it. Just like money. Just like healing my body. Right? It takes discipline to master it. But I can tell time, carpe diem. It's seize the day. Taking the time and making the time do what you wanted to do as opposed to time dictating you. Right? On that note, I cannot fail. Right? As long as I am connected with the eternal purpose for my life. Even when it looked like I'm out of place, I'm in place. Oh, I can't dig too much. Okay, so evaluate our stalemate. Many priorities are not black and white, but many tones of gray. The last thing one knows is what to put first. This is when we start really digging in, because this is where I am, and this is where it started to help me. Many priorities are not black and white, but many tones of gray. Like sometimes you look at something like, okay, I hear what you're saying, David. Like, all right, I need to prioritize, but I don't know which one to put first, right? So it says the last thing one knows is what to put first.
Evaluate
Evaluate or stalemate. Stalemate. Now, it's kind of like in college for me, you know, writing a paper. The hardest thing about writing a paper, or doing most projects, was starting. Once I started, I was good, but I just needed to get going, right? So, I thought I turned it up. So, the following questions will assist your priority process. What is required of me? In other words, what do I have to do that no one but me can do? And the reason that's important is because, like we were talking about earlier, some of it you may be able to delegate. But if it's something that has to, so and we're trying to figure out which priorities to put first. If it's something that only you can do, that starts to move up on the list. Oh, let me give you this real quick. Some people need to be visual learners. We were talking about the high importance. This is like a matrix for you to help figure out what's important, right? Oh, you have these 4 quadrants, right? High importance, high urgency, right? That's the most important. These have to be done first. High importance, low urgency. Got me? That's number 2. You have low importance, high urgency. It's not that important, but there's a deadline impending. And then over here you have low importance, low urgency. Now, you can draw that up if you're a visual person and you need to do it, but you'll be able to put your priorities here and say, when I think about what I need to do, where do they go? And it's just a tool to use. You don't have to do this, but it's how you can say, all right, these things in here, these are number 1. This is number 2. And then the slide tells you, make deadlines for these. High importance but low urgency, meaning I need to do this, but there's no deadline. All right, that helps. I hope that helps you a little bit. So, but if you also need help trying to prioritize, figure out what only you can do. Whatever those things are, they must be put on high priority list. Failure to do them will cause you to remain unemployed or unproductive. If you don't do those things that are high importance, high urgency. What gives me the greatest return? That's what we were talking about in that Pareto principle. I'm going to use you as an example if you don't mind. All right. So we have a couple of people in here who have ventured out into business, right? And the Bible talks about don't despise small beginnings, right? If you know that what you are doing is God's purpose, hear me now. If you know that what you are doing is God's purpose, you have to know. You can't be wavering. But once you have that confidence, numbers do not matter. You do what you are supposed to do with whoever shows up with maximum ability. Give it everything you got. If it's one person, I've heard many people talk about how they were preachers and they preached to the chairs before anybody showed up. Mm-hmm. They prepared the same way. Nothing changes. You have to say that's what makes great people great. Great players great. They're going to prepare for an opponent no matter who they are. Now, in that Pareto principle, it said, take your top 2 and focus all your energy on the top 2, which gives you 80% of your results, right? We were talking, Tawana does workout class, right? She has some people who are consistent, some people who are not consistent for whatever reason, right? This is what I'll tell them off. I say, you know what? I would take all my energy, focus in those consistent people, and I'm going to sink everything I got into them to show whoever else may be interested what Taylor Fitness is capable of when you give it everything. Right? I'm going to give you some free stuff that I wouldn't give to somebody else because I'm going to use you as an example. Vessels of honor. I'm going to display you. Right? I'm giving you the meal plan. I'm encouraging you. I got to come to your house because I need you. I need other people to see. I'm going to take you and make an example out of you. I'm investing 80%. I'm not neglecting the rest, but I'm going to give them the 20. But for you, I'm giving you 80. Right? And as a result, you get a bigger bang. Right? Because that person is consistent in Taylor Fitness. When they start to lose weight and look good because of the work that you're putting in, other people are going to say, who is that again? They're going to start talking, and they're going to have that unbelievable response, and they're going to say, I need to find out a little bit more about what you're doing. What is the most rewarding? Life is too short not to be fun. Kind of said something like that yesterday, too. Our best work takes place when we enjoy it. Our best work takes place when we enjoy it. The scripture says that God has given us all things richly to enjoy. I love my life. This is not work for me. This is who I am. We do this at the kitchen table. We could do this in a restaurant, in my driveway, right? Success in your work will greatly increase if the 3 R's, requirement, return, and rewards, are similar. These 3 things right here. If the requirements of my job are the same as my strengths that give me the highest return, and doing those things bring me the greatest pleasure, then I will be successful if I act on my priorities. I'm going to read that again. I know some people might be trying to write that down. If the requirements of my job are the same as my strengths, right here, finding those things that only you can do. If they're the same as my strengths that give me the highest return, and doing those things brings me the greatest pleasure, then I will be successful if I act on my priorities. Just think about that. It's a simple formula. What I'm asking myself to do lines up with what I'm strong in, and it gives me a great return, and it's rewarding to me, why wouldn't I want to hurry up and get it done or take pleasure in it, even when it might be grueling to some other people? I make references to her because she liked to work out, and I'm like, that's hard for others, but for her, it just seemed like it's a lifestyle, right? But because it gives her great return and she's enjoying it, she don't have a problem doing it. All right. Priority principle. Priorities never stay put. Listen, priorities never stay put. Remember I was talking about when we first start, some things is going from the list from one year to the next year? Priorities are never supposed to stay put. Well-placed priorities always sit on the edge, right? Always about to be complete, right? So you should be moving from one priority up, the next one moves up, right? To keep priorities in place, evaluate, eliminate, estimate. One, evaluate means every month, review the 3 R's. Am I doing the requirements that are my strengths? Is it giving me a return, the greatest return? And is it rewarding to me? Eliminate, ask yourself, what am I doing that can be done by someone else? That's the delegation part of it. What am I doing that can be done by somebody else? And estimate, what are the top projects you are doing this month and how long will they take? I think this is key because a lot of us talk about what we're doing, but we never have expiration dates. And that they just stay open-ended and we drag them on forever. Set a date. But even if you don't adhere to the date totally, at least you have some expectation. I got proof. Tell me if somebody's still writing, let me know. You can overestimate the unimportance of practically everything. You can overestimate the unimportance of practically everything. The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. Remember when I said I'm getting ready to walk out the door and I see the trash need to be picked up? Or I see a piece of Pop-Tart on the table that my daughter left, and I'm like, I need to go back. I need to go do. And I would get caught up in all these minuscule tasks that I end up being late. Now I put this in practice. So I'm on my way somewhere. I was like, man, I'm right here. I could go stop at such and such. But I put a sign on the door that says I'm going to be back at 2 o'clock. Right? Now, if I go stop over here, and my concept of time is changing because I used to overestimate the time. This is going to take 5 minutes. Once there's 5 minutes, I got 5 minutes to get to the school. I'm going to be back. Right? And I get in there and it takes 10 minutes. And now somebody who is waiting on me, depending upon me, relying upon the sign that I put on the door, I'm unprofessional. Yeah? So, but when I put the time on the door, I did it for a reason. That gave me a window. What good is a boundary if we never obey it? Right? It's supposed to, where there is no vision, people what? Let's be real. They die. They die. You will die if you don't set your dream will die if you don't set some kind of boundary. Vision gives you deadlines. Vision creates boundary. Vision, my goal says, this is where I want to end up. And in order for me to end up there, here's what I have to do. Right? So if I want to get there, I start to set parameters. My people, if you don't remember anything else I said, set a deadline. Set a deadline. And do your best to adhere to it. That is what commitment is. And it is a good practice in business. When you commit to something, people want to know that they can rely on you. You might have a good product, but if you don't have the self-discipline to be consistent, listen, one of the things we're working on, I'm like, I have to have this class. I have to do this with the young people because they need to know that rain, sleet, or snow, they're going to be there. Because if you start to say, oh, we're not having it this week, we're not doing it this week, you know what they're going to start thinking? They're going to start to readjust their schedule. It was something I wrote down, and I'm going to show it to you when I find it, because it has something to do with that. Evaluate her stalemate per the principle stay never stay put. Here we go. Oh, no, that's not all y'all stuff. That's me. Too many priorities paralyze us. All true leaders have learned to say no to the... Oh, wait, I passed something up at the bottom. It says planned neglect. They were talking to this young lady who was an artist, and they were asking her how did she become so successful. And she said it wasn't always that way, because there were some things that every time she got ready to pursue her goal, she would get caught up, just like I was talking about. I would get caught up and sidetracked. And she said, I intentionally started doing things like, I'm not going to make up my bed. I'm not going to clean up my room. I'm not going to do this until I go out and do what I was supposed to do first. Because if I stay here making up my bed, low importance, low urgency, right? Something's going to fall short. So I'm going to get to it, but that's going to be when I come back home. And it's intentional about knowing what to overlook. Let's see. Too many priorities paralyze us. All true leaders have learned to say no to the good in order to say yes to the best. All true leaders have learned to say no to the good in order to say yes to the best. Yes, sir.
Something that reminds me of something that by the grace of God I'm doing a lot better on. There are a lot of good things that we can do, like say for instance associated with my job and a few other things, and some things may have been purposeful for a time and a season.
Yes.
But after a while, God reveals, what our purposes are, and not just our purposes, but like the specific things that He would want us to do that ultimately would prepare us for whatever it is He would have us to do. And so in that, I had to come to a place to where when people would ask me to do something, even though it might have been a good thing, even though they might have thought that, oh, you're an ideal candidate to be an RPM, to be this manager. Look, you're the ideal candidate. Everybody else doesn't have the qualifications. You got it. This is how you should go. Right. And it makes you feel good too. That's right. But at the end of the day, does it sit well with what God has, the purpose God has for your life? Because His job could be like it could be a source of income to support whatever it is that God wants to do in you. And so anyway, that just reminds me of quite a few things, because a lot of times people see good things in you, and throughout many different things, and a lot of times you kind of get caught up in what they're saying rather than what God has already spoken to you, or is speaking to you, and so on. So anyway, they're good things, but they might not necessarily be God things. But a lot of times those things can hamstring us, man. That's it. And so I'm just
let us lay aside every weight and sin. So there's some sins, and then they just got something that's just going to slow us down. It might not be evil. It's just slowing you down. Like I said, this has become something I've implemented in my life. And it's as simple as the driving. Like I said, no, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go do this over here. Like you said, there are a lot of good things, but they're not always God things. Your purpose dictates what you go do and what you don't. That's the vision. That's good, but it's not for me. My business, that I'm not aligning myself. There's some things people are like, oh, you can do this, you can do this. I'm like, that's cool. But that's not what I'm called to do. There's something in business called mission creep. You get involved in stuff and you start to creep away from your mission. Stay steadfast, unmovable, always abounding. Stay where God puts you. And when I say stay there, I don't mean immobile. I mean in the purpose. Because He told them to duplicate Eden all over. But, okay, here we go. We said this last week. I'm a landlord. I own a place that you can rent. But there are rules in order to occupy the space that I own. I'm going to say it again so that it sounds good. There's rules in order to occupy the space that I own. Now, I'm not saying that because of me. I'm talking about God. We call Him Lord. In order for us to occupy the space that He owns, we have to abide by His rules. Adam, Eve, when you do not listen, I have to kick you out and put a flaming sword. As much as I have equipped this garden with everything you need. If you're not going to play by my rules, I have to put you out. But when you do play by the rules, you have access to unlimited power, wealth, resources, healing. But the key is to know where he told you to be. That's what righteousness is. Be where I'm telling you to be. You can go put your hands on something and grab it. I don't care if it's tied up. When they ask you for it, if I sent you to go do it, it's gonna be and do. Tell them the master have need of it. Sorry, Doc, but this is my healing today. This is my debt free. This is my happiness. I know it's mine because I know it's a part of who God made me to be. God did not make us to be ignorant of his will. Amen. Getting all worked up. All true leaders have learned to say no to the good in order to say yes to the best. When little priorities demand too much of us, big problems arise. When little priorities, low importance, low urgency, when they demand too much of us, big problems arise. The reason most major goals are not achieved is that we spend our time doing second things first. Often little things in life trip us up. I'm going to read y'all something real quick. This is good, and this comes out of John Maxwell's book, Leadership 101. So I'm not taking credit for anything. It was called The Famous Flight of 401. It was a flight from New York to Miami with a heavy load of holiday passengers. As the plane approached the Miami airport for its landing, the light that indicates proper deployment of the landing gear failed to light. The plane flew in large looping circles over the swamps of the Everglades while the cockpit crew checked to see if the gear had not actually deployed or if instead the bulb in the signal light was defective. When the flight engineer tried to remove the light bulb, it wouldn't budge, and the other members of the crew tried to help him. As they struggled with the bulb, no one noticed the aircraft was losing altitude, and the plane simply flew right into the swamp. While an experienced crew of high-priced pilots fiddled with a 75-cent light bulb, the plane passengers flew into the ground. 75-cent light bulb. They focused all of their attention on this, never paying attention to what was really important. The little things tripped them up, and as a result, it cost people their lives. We have to know to be able to keep the main thing the main thing. There was a book I read, Maximize the Moment, and he says, we have to know when to swat and to fly. I'm going to tell y'all a funny story. I was driving my car. I had a 1996 Toyota Avalon. It was gold, right? Beautiful car. My grandmother gave it. I'm driving. Yeah, it had hubcaps on it too. I know my wife always wanted to put that. But it was an Avalon. You said purple tinted windows? There wasn't purple. It faded over the years. But it's okay. But that's okay. It was still an Avalon though. It was a nice car. It only had 30,000 miles on it when I got it. So that's practically brand new for a Toyota. Thank you, Lord, for my grandmother. Bless her of God 100 times over.
What kind of car was it?
A Toyota Avalon, brother. Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. I need that help. Can I get an amen? So, anyway, I'm driving. I'm right at the corner of Ames and Barataria, right? It's a budget saver there now in Exxon. It used to be Laborie, right? I pull up and I'm at the light, and lo and behold, a spider from my visor just dropped down right in front, a little bitty window, he was little, literally right in front of my face. And I was like, now I wasn't afraid, but I'm like, Lord, this spider. So I'm the humanitarian, okay? I don't want to kill the spider. He just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. So here's what I do. I got my windows up because I had speakers in my car, so I got sound, you know. So I grabbed the spider web, and I'm getting ready to move it out to put it outside to drop the spider out and be nice. I let the window down. It's cool. The light turned green. So I start easing up off the brake. So the wind started blowing. The spider blew back in my face onto me. By this time, I have crossed over Ames. an Uncle Barry Terrier, and there's an O'Reilly Auto Parts that they had just built, and they had brand new little bitty bushes right there. Man, when that spider flew into me, I dropped everything. I started jumping around. I was in the bushes in O'Reilly Auto Parts. My car was kind of upside on the side, and I couldn't do nothing but laugh. And I was like, now you know this is crazy. And hence, know when to swallow. There's some things that you just don't have to pay attention to. You know, I could have eliminated that very easily with very little effort. But I made the task bigger than it had to be. And almost lost my life or my nice car as a result of something so small. So, let's not put second things first. Don't let the little things trip us up. Time deadlines and emergencies force us to prioritize. This is what I was talking about. Time deadlines and emergencies force us. I'm going to tell y'all a practice. My wife is helping me with this. I used to be like, yeah, man, we need to get together. All the time. I always used to say, yeah, man, we need to get together. And you know what I say now? Even sometimes I walk away, yeah, man, we going to get together. Man, praise the Lord, this stuff going on. And I walk away and I do nothing. Yeah, man, when we going to do that? Let me pull out my calendar. Because if I keep saying it, it's open-ended. It's never going to happen. But when I put a deadline on it, if nothing else, at that day, I'm going to call and say, hey, man, we still meeting? Nah, what's another good day for you? Because I know me. Here's the thing. I'm disciplining myself. I'm buffeting my body. I know what I have to do. Oh, we getting there. We getting excited. Paul said, I don't train like one to miss. When I swing, I'm hitting. I don't run the race just to run. I'm running to win. So when I swing, I want to be effective. Oh, man. So if you only have one letter to write, it will take all day to do it. If you have 20 letters to write, you'll get them done in one day. Boy, anybody who went to college knows exactly what I'm talking about. See, it was the day before that 5 or 10 page paper was due. Oh, no. We up in there getting it in. Burning the midnight. That's where the term all-nighter come from. And it ain't from the people who've been studying. It's from the people who cram. You know what I told myself when I was in college? I said, if I would study throughout the year, just a little bit during the semester, it wouldn't be so hard at the end. You know? And I started saying, you know what I did? By the time, I ain't learned till I was a senior. I'm a slow learner. But I started saying, after class every day, on my way, before I got to my classroom, I had to pass the library up. So I just went to the library. I spent 20 minutes in there. And I ain't running into nobody, no distractions or anything. I was like, I took notes. I'm going to go over the index cards. But then it's just a rehearsal when I get to the test. Because I've already taken the test over and over in my head already. You know, but deadlines force us to, and emergencies force us to prioritize. Ooh, man. What is our most efficient time at work? The week before vacation. We know we about to be gone for a week or two. We get everything done. We got a list. Oh, I got to do this. I'm gonna be going such. Got to turn this in. All of a sudden, you go into effective mode, right? And it's funny because we tell ourselves. You know what I used to tell people about cursing? Man, I can't stop cussing. That's what they used to say. And I say, well, how come when you're around your grandma and your mama, you know, not everybody don't have that because some people just really need that. You know, but a lot of people, they passed the church. Oh, forgive me. They gangsters, killers, and everything, right? But I'm like, you have control. Oh, I'll give you another example. My parents would be fussing with each other. You that saying all this stuff, and we sitting there watching, and the phone ring. Now, our house, I can't speak for nobody else's house, but when they answer the phone at our house, it's, hello, praise the Lord, who's speaking, right? That's how you have to answer the phone. My mama answered the phone like that today if I called, right? So, girl, boy, cause they fuck her and daddy arguing down. The phone ring. Hello, praise the Lord, who's speaking? Hey, girl, what's happening? I ain't talked to you in a long time. Oh, yeah, girl, let me call you back. All right. You stupid. And I'm like, so this is what it showed me. You have the ability to turn it on and off when you want to. You just don't want to. Because if you really wanted to, you could stop that. One of my greatest pet peeves, Lord help me Jesus, I need grace for other people for this, is when somebody act like they so mad, nothing else just don't matter. You just that mad, you can't control it. You done turn into Tasmanian devil now. You just go in the world when everything is in your path, just awaken. We had a basketball game, and 2 of the dudes on my team have, a short fuse. We in the championship, y'all. We about to win. We worked hard for this. And these two dudes got into it with the ref and got technical fouls, and we lost the game.
No.
We lost on some stuff that we had. We were up, and I said, y'all priorities is mixed up. This all of a sudden took precedent over all the work that we've been putting in. Now that's a basketball game, but we do that with our life, with our marriage, with our children, with our jobs. Oh, I don't care what they say. I'm not gonna let nobody talk to me like that. Then you get fired, and you try to figure out how you gonna eat. Amen. You know, or you so mad, you saying something to your wife and your children right there, and you investing all kind of anger, bitterness, and stuff in your. But it don't matter because I'm mad right now, and when I'm mad, that is the essence of pride. It's all about me right now. Even when we get angry and we go respond in a certain way, the Bible says, "Vengeance is mine," says the Lord. I don't need you to execute it. I'm the just judge. When we execute vengeance, you know what that says? I don't trust God to do it the right way. Yeah. I'm gonna do it myself. You got your priorities mixed up. Under normal conditions, we are efficient. Under normal conditions, we are efficient doing things right. When time pressure mounts or emergencies arise, we become effective doing right things. Efficiency is the foundation of survival. Effectiveness is the foundation for success. When under normal circumstances, we do things right. It's our regular job. When the week before vacation comes, we get effective. Think about if we could function like that all the time. If we could adopt a week before vacation mentality, our jobs would be so much easier because we prioritize and then we execute. Emergency changes priority. One of the most curious Titanic stories. It was about a woman who had a place on one of the lifeboats. She asked if she could return to, while she's on the lifeboat, she asked if she could return to her stateroom for something and was given just 3 minutes. In her stateroom, when she got there, she ignored her own jewelry and instead grabbed 3 oranges. Then she quickly returned to her place in the boat. Now, just hours earlier, it could have been ludicrous to think that she would have accepted a crate of oranges in exchange for 1 small diamond. But circumstances had suddenly transformed all the values aboard the ship. The emergency clarified her priorities. We can relate to this, those who went through Katrina. All the stuff that you thought was important, right? For me, it put things in perspective. I was like, that stuff I don't have value in a lot of that. What matters to me now is the time that I spend with my family. My favorite holiday has become Thanksgiving. Christmas is cool, but there's this obligation, well, at least you feel the pressure to get gifts. If you don't, you gotta explain it. If you don't explain it, you feel it, you want to explain it. It's just the pressure, That's me, I can't, everybody not. Some people can do it and be like, I don't care, I ain't get no gifts, that's it, I'm just gonna do that. But as a result, though, of when, I'm gonna say something else. Prejudice goes out the window when it's an emergency. I don't like them people, right? See, when the power went out, oh, you got meat? You got food over there? Yeah, come on over, right? And then somehow when we get comfortable, everybody go back to priorities change. Well, I remember when, though. Think about it. Once Jesus fed the people, he lost half his crowd. Tell you what people's priorities are. Too often we learn too late what is really important. Nobody on their deathbed ever said, I wish I had spent more time in my business. We need to make sure that we understand what priorities are. What really matters. We was talking about this the other day. There's a lot of people who talk about even ministry, in business. They dedicate a lot. Oh, I'm dedicated to this, but they at the detriment of losing their family. David, as great a man as he was in the Bible, right? He was a great warrior. He was a man after God's own heart. All of these things, but man, look at his personal life, his family. Good Lord, brother dropped the ball. I've heard profound ministers say, if I had to do it all over again, I'd spend more time with my family. We get it mixed up. A good thing is not always a God thing. And a good thing could be ministry. A good thing could be helping people. But I can't do it in neglect of family as priority. Ask God. The first institution he made was home. He started home. That's the first church. I heard Miles Monroe say, he said, pastors, some of y'all need to stop cheating on your wives with God's bride. I was like, God, but he was right. It's the truth. we got to put our priorities in order. Me and my dad have had a conversation. We got people who call they pastor, they treat him like daddy. And we've superseded now. The pastor has more influence in the house than the father does. And that's not the order. And when something does not function in order, you do not get maximum capacity. You do not function at maximum potential. So we got to put things in place. Yeah? So, too often we learn too late what is really important. Prioritize what really matters now. 8:28. I'm going to close it right here. And for anybody else who wants to stay after, I'll show y'all something. Yes? You want me to speak to the Facebook people? Hey, Facebook Live crowd. I don't know who's out there, but I hope that you got something from what we talked about today. I hope that your life you've gotten tools. See, because I don't like to just somebody tell you what you need to do and you don't have anything to go home and work with. Now, hopefully you have information that will equip you to be more effective today, this next minute, at this moment. Once you log off, you should say, I can use that and apply it. One of the things I appreciate about a lot of people in this room and some of the people who are listening is they don't just hear the word, they are doers. I love that. Because then you start to see tangible evidence, and faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I can tell that you believe what we're talking about in this room because I start to see evidence of what's been planted. Right? Go back to you again with the confidence. If you know that you put something in the ground, don't dig it up before it starts to manifest what you plant. You just got to, because the enemy gonna try to come and tell you, you ain't put nothing there. I know that I put something in the ground and I'm just waiting for the return. That's the kind of, he works on a principle. Seed time and harvest, as long as we exist. I'm sowing back into what he gave me and I'm expecting a result. Bank on his word. Bank on that. Know what your purpose is and move forward. Right? Let's close out. God, I just pray in the name of Jesus that everything that we said over here, Father God, that it was none of us and all of you, and that the words and the tools that you've given us, we will be able to apply so that our lives can be changed and touched. People can be healed and delivered. The people that you've called us to touch, we can touch them. The atmosphere and the fields that you've called us to go into, we can go and have dominion, Father God, so that we can do the things that you called us to do. God, we know that you are able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we can ask or think. Blow our minds, Father God, so that we can live an unbelievable life. So that when people come to see us, they will see a work that you've worked in our lives, that though it be told to them, they won't believe it. And then we can point them to the almost too good to be true news of Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name, let every person make it home safe. Amen. So, people I showed, like I said, y'all can leave.
Thank you.
There is a
See y'all
video.
later.
How many people watch basketball?
Go to www.hypenola.org if you want to know more about the class tonight. See you later.
He's a